Already the fun continues. So you may notice that this gap here, which I can barely fit my finger in, is larger than this gap. So this beam is not straight. In fact, I think I have a straight checker. So let's put the straight checker. And then, oh Jesus, I mean, you can, see, this kind of shit drives me crazy. Yay. So we'll be shimming up on this side. I don't know what we're gonna do. Probably gonna have to scrape this, cut this down, plane it. See, it's supposed to be inset, not sitting out. Fortunately, it's inset up to here. So we'll have to clean this up, and then I'm gonna have to make like a little shim. Fortunately, I have a bunch of extra wood because I trimmed off the edges here. And it's about that thickness too, because I really don't. And it's gonna get even more fucked up. Is that level-ish? Wow, that's close to level-ish, but not great. Well, I should have known better. I went to put this piece in, and it's got a big S-hook on it. And I put it to the table saw, but the table saw can't deal with that. That's what the track saw is for. So I'm gonna do the right thing, and I'm just gonna square up this edge so it doesn't stick past the drywall, and use that piece. For the moment, I plop this on top of there so I can at least just kind of get it something to clamp onto, because the clamps clamp on the outside. So we'll be in a little bit, but I don't care about that because the next piece is the one that's critical. But yeah, I should have known better. I should have grabbed this piece of wood. So with the track on there, you can definitely see the bow out. It's flat here and it's flat there, and that's more than my tolerances. So yeah, I could have hand planed this in place, but it would have been a pain in the ass. So lesson learned. If I need to do, we'll do all of our cuts on the track saw, which is why I bought it. That was challenging. I do like the new nailer. She just these little tiny nails. Nobody sees. This might be considered spoiled. Just a little. I put this in 2011, 2010, and there was a puddle last week, and I assumed it just came from outside, but puddles don't drip. So looking up here, yep, we got water dripping. So these are cheater attachments. It's actually copper shark bite. It's not leaking there. And it doesn't appear to be leaking from here. It appears to be leaking from inside, which means she's done for. So now we gotta replace the water heater. Then we gotta get into some choices. So do we want another standard high efficiency? I don't have a chimney, so I gotta use high efficiency. Or do we want, hang it on the wall, boiler? And then we do a boil, like a hot instant. Do we put it here or do we put it on the other side? Great. I think I found the problem. She's a GE. She was built in April. So 40,000 BTU, 40 gallons. That's what I wanted to know. Yeah, good enough. So last night I was able to pick this up. She's a scratch and some dents. There's a nice dent right there. Not that I give a shit. Another dent right there. It's brand new. It's never been used. Just dentilated. This does bother me that nipple is not quite straight. I noticed that yesterday. The fan comes separate and that just screws right on. So I'll get it over there. You can tell I got a height issue. So once I get over there, I'll put the fan on there, and that's tonight's job. The water heater is definitely leaking. It's pretty, well, you saw the water before. So that'll be fun. It was not fun getting it down here. Basically, just kind of carried it down and then rested it on the rubber wheels as went down the stairs and up the stairs. But she's in a good place now. I think well, no, I can't. If I flip her over and take the bottom part out, I can push those dents out and then put it back on there. Whether or not I'll do that, maybe I'll remember to do. I'm not going to bother the top. That's just a little dent, but there's a good sized dent on the other side. So I'm going to roll this in. Because of the height issues, I got to lower it down, so I'm going to keep it on the dolly. And sure enough, as I'm moving things around, there it is. That really long drill bit I was looking for. Yep, that would have been nice because that would have taken 2 Romexes with 1 hole. So we'll find a new home for this over here. I think I can, I got to move a few more things. I think I can squeeze through here. It's 2 feet, 2 feet. Around here, 2 feet. So I think I'll just push this table in and kind of clear that off and we'll be good to go. I'll shut the water off and I'm draining the tank right now. Got a built-in hose for that. So I've got the gas turned off. However, I'm going to have to undo all this pipe to get to there. So I'm going to undo the union. Fortunately, I have a union here. And then just kind of, I don't know how I'm going to do this. I just start undoing it, I guess. I'm going to have to undo it here. Oh, it's a mess. I theoretically should have a union right here. But apparently I don't have a union. A union is this, where you can decouple it without twisting both sides. You just twist one side. So that's, so pretty much, fuck, it doesn't even look straight. It kind of looks like it's not straight. Anyhow, well, you need to take care of that. So yeah, nothing to it but to do it, as they say. Actually, once I remember righty-tighty, lefty-loosey, this came out pretty quickly, and I got it down to there, and I put the parts kind of together, so I remember that goes in there, that goes in there, there. So, kept wondering who was having bad gas, because it smells like gas, but that's because there's gas coming out there. So, I got to go open a drain upstairs to drain all the hot water. I hear it gurgling, so that's not good. I forgot to open up a drain. They recommend, obviously, to go to the very top of the drain, so I got to go upstairs to my wife's bathroom. Or is it the kids' bathroom? I'll open both. What the hell? Oh, unplugged it. Took most of the screws off of this. I got another one back here. Oh, that's interesting. It's leaking there, too. So, good thing. She's just leaking everywhere. It's not leaking up there. Oops, okay, sorry. It's leaking right here, though. So, that's good. And it's been off all day. We had the water turned off at the inlet. So, go do that. Okay, so shark bit is off. You'll see later that the nipple here, actually I can do it now. Which one? One of these didn't look straight. I think it's this one. Yeah, that one. See how that kind of goes? Like, I want to be straight, but I'm not. Whereas this one, you can see, yes, it's tapered, but it's going in, not leaning to the side, even though there's a taper there. So, well, anyhow. So, I bought something that in 2 ways makes more sense than what I have here. So, the problem with here is I'm right on it. I got no flexibilities. So I got these. So these are a shark bite. So I'll be able to slide that in up there, and they got a twisty thing on there. So I get the advantage of the twisty thing, which I had with the Shark Bite, but I got more flexibilities. So long story short, if the pipe this can flex and deal with the fact that that's not straight. I don't want to bend it back because that will just lead to a fracture point. And obviously if it leaks, it's going back tonight, but this is problematic. That's the anode. That's another story for another day. Because this is so easy to take apart, I may not put a union in there, but I may look and see if I have a union. Because it would be nice to have a union here. Then I could just take it apart here instead of taking all this the other stuff apart. Although, again, it didn't take that long. But it's more things that might leak later on. So, yeah, this looks fine that way. It's just, I don't know, she ain't that bad. But no, the flexible will work. And anyhow, I should replace the Shark fittings. They've been in there for 10 years. So we'll just cut the pipe back at some point. So what's next? I think I just lean her over. Of course, there's a big difference here in color, but other than that, you can see they're similar size. Well, hopefully they're the same size. We'll find out. Maybe that's a good reason to have a little extra play there. That's the air conditioning line. I should tack that up a little bit when this is out of the way here. Definitely got a space constraint here. Hopefully I can just slide this over there. We're going to see the innards of this weekend, so that'll be fun. Well, the good thing is they are the same height, so that's good. Again, I got a collision here. Of course, it's still leaking from upstairs, so I can just feel cold air streaming through the vent here. It's just whoosh. Yeah, it's dirty. I really want to vacuum this out, but I can't quite get here, so I'm gonna do some rearranging with all the room I have and figure out how to get that out. Now, it's a lot heavier because I think it's still got some waters in it. But at least, yeah, same height. So, as they should be, because the specs said the same thing. Well, I think she's internally full of water, which I guess we're gonna have to drain because I can't move this by myself. This other one, not a problem. I can just pick this one up and rotate it. That one weighs about 250. Looks like we're gonna be turning on the dehumidifier today. So, well, shit. I drained it with the hose. Let's see how bad that looks. Doesn't look too bad. Cold, hot. Got some yuckies in there. That stuff be rusted. I can still feel the heat coming out of there. The anode. We're gonna look forward to seeing what the anode looks like after 10 years. Well, at least the water's clean off the mouse poop. That's good. This is a way station for the mice that used to go across that area. So, I'm kind of trapped here. Fuck. Okay, well, I got the tank over there. There's a little heart over here. You can definitely see it leaked a little bit. And I was able to get the vacuum over here and clean off all the cobwebs and everything. And I got the tank into position. It's looking pretty good, except I forgot to put the fan on. So we're going to dig the fan out. I'm going to compare the old fan to the new fan because I have a feeling that it's plug and play. I'm going to save on that part. But Teflon tape. We need Teflon tape. I'm happy to get the Teflon tape. We need that for the gas too, the yellow for that. So getting closer. Well, this is the old one. You can tell because the rubber is kind of melted there. This pretty much looks identical. 6 wires there, 6 wires there, same kind of thing. I don't know why this one's not out all the way. Maybe it doesn't matter. It's glued in there, and ground wire and power cord. So we're going to keep on this. I think I'm going to transfer, I'm not sure. This has got a 3-inch, that's a 2-inch. So maybe this one is the right size. It's just going 3-inch to 2-inch. Maybe they have an adapter to go from the 2-inch to the 3-inch. I don't know. It's math. Not my thing today. So hopefully you've got some signs of use. So yeah, apparently this is like a universal thing. They just bolt these on and they literally have their own power on there. And the cable sensor basically goes down to the bottom saying, hey, my fan's not spinning, don't turn on, that kind of stuff. So it's got some safeties built into it. So we'll go pop that on top because, like I said, I forgot. And what else? I'm going to have to level on her. And yeah. use self-tapping screws, he said, so it just makes their own holes. I got the old screws, and every time I remember that they were covered in rat poop and I had them in my mouth, I guess that's probably a bad habit. I get a little sick to my stomach, but yeah, it's part of the job. Okay, so she's in place. I need to put a level on her and add some shims, whatnot, because I'm sure that the floor slopes. Went ahead and just used the shark bites I had, tightened the fuck out of them, lots of stuff on there, and they don't seem to be leaking. I filled it up with water, and I got an air gap here, so yeah, I'm gonna have to extend this down, and it looks like about 2.5 inches, but also needs to come over about 1.5 inches. So yay. No, not really. Something like kind of like damned if I do. If I move this to match this, and the pipes don't match. And the hoses I got I can use, but they're either, come here hose, stay there, eventually die. I was thinking I didn't need a lot of distance here, so they're either too long or they're too short. So if I wanted to put it back to like here, they're too short. If I wanted it just to go like up to here, it's too long. So I don't know what I'm gonna leave it the way it is for right now, but I'm gonna come back to that. So right now I'm gonna focus on this, then we'll put the gas line back together, and I'm fairly confident. So this is different. It's a different manufacturer. I don't know why it's an Aquavent. This is a Rheem. That's kind of weird. So gonna have to polish on this. But I mean, it will work. It's just, I don't know, maybe the right thing would be to, that water's from when this was dripping, would be maybe to put the other power fan on, because it would just plug right in. So I don't know. Oh, ironically, maybe that is my shark fitting. No, it isn't, because it goes in I think that's 1/2 inch. Yeah, that's 1/2 inch, not 3/4. So that's 3/4 there. That's 1/2 inch. They're different. But this one even has the shut off on it. So it's a really handy thing to have. It would be perfect otherwise. But, nope. Oh, and the angle thing, we just kind of forced it out there. So copper will adjust. Well, I went through all my supplies, and I need a PVC 2-inch coupler. I've got the down part, a longer piece there. I've got another 90. I've got 2 90s. I got 2 45s. But I need to extend the top pipe that comes in from the outside over 1.5 inches. Actually a little more, because when I replaced the fittings. So we're off to Home Depot. Unfortunately, the local hardware store closed at 7, and it's 7:45. Damn, it's getting chilly out here. It's 42. So that's what coats are for. Oh well. So off to Home Depot. I've got the pipe. I got all the other couplings that just didn't have what I need, of course. Okay, so we're back from the Home Depot. So basically, I'm going to cut it off here, well, up here, using a short hacksaw blade. Then I'm going to put a coupler in here, a longer piece here, a 90 here, and then a longer, this piece here. Sorry. Coupler, longer piece, 90, and then this piece will be a longer piece there. And I'm cutting it off back here because I got plenty of this pipe, and then maybe I can use this at a later date, because I got gluage here and gluage here, because these are like $8 now. And the little short things are like $1.95. So yeah, that's what we're gonna do. Yay. Okay, I did a dry fit, and so we just have to glue, and then clamp plate. So yeah, we're gonna get to the gluing, the good stuff, the smelly stuff, the stuff that gets you stoned. Well, it's stain season again. We just cranked this up, so it's about 70, 80 in here. I don't know what it is. I am getting a little concerned that my stain is, she's past her prime. So this is what it should look like. And I guess these are kind of close, but this one's a little darker than I wanted it to be. My can looks a little abused, and it is. I need to get a new one. This stuff's just too thick. So basically, what's supposed to pour on and then wipe off is more like rub on, really thick. As you can kind of see right there, it's I gotta wipe that off. So this has become a lot more difficult. So I'm done with that. And I tried thinning it with some paint thinner. That helped a little bit, but they don't recommend that. So about this, I just got to go find the right kind of fasteners. I thought I found some and brought some up. I didn't like the color. This is the right size. So this will almost go to the other side, but I just didn't like the gray. I don't know why I thought I would. So we'll for another day. But and these are little rubber bumpers I found at work that I think I'm going to put underneath this guy as a cutting board. So I did find the piece I've been missing, and this is the one that's broken. Is it broken? Piece missing. It's been broken for quite a while. You can tell by the nastiness. Is this? I did order a different blade. I'm having problems with this blade, but also the blade I've got is a thicker blade, so it should be better for like sawing large pieces. And I got the manual for this. I need to adjust on this. This is the year that either we start using this or we make it disappear. So anyhow, that's a Friday night fun. Oh yeah, and this. So this little sander I think is really cute and can be handy, but this wheel doesn't. It's not straight. It's supposed to be this way, and it goes this way, so the belt just comes right off. So I looked online. There's no parts for this. However, I mean, look at that. I thought that was like somebody added that, but apparently that's what it literally came with, because I found more on eBay like this. I may just tear it apart and see what I find. This might be a standard part I can order. It would be nice to be able to use. And again, she's so cute. And I mean, the logo says it all. Saying cat. How could it go wrong? And as Mitch Paul, the guy I worked for when I was 14 to 18 at the bike shop, used to say, and another thing, I was finishing the sides, but then I remembered some of these aren't straight. So you can see a big gap here and hence a big gap down there. So I'm going to be adjusting on these, and then they usually need to be cut to width anyhow. So there's no point in going all that. All I need to do is basically my reveal, which is the part of the board that's going to be shown, is going to be just like 1/8 of an inch. So like upstairs in the ones I installed on Tuesday, I'm just going to have to lightly sand this edge, put 1 or 2 coats on there, and just, it's not a lot. It won't take long. In fact, I was planning to do that this week, but just not happy with the stain because she's a gel and not a pour-on stain. I also love the red look. Looks like I've been pooping in my hands here. That's good. Little baby shit carrot.
Oh, wow. Oh my gosh.
So she's got, this is an originator.
What's in here?
President Coolidge, a lady.
For a second I thought that was. This is
Just missing the top box. So I drove it because I'm trying to figure out the battery thing. I think I figured a workaround, but yeah, I'm pretty sure I got a bad cell in the batteries. Ordered a diagnostic Tech 2 kit, hack Chinesium thing that should be here on Wednesday, so I could actually see the cell values. But anyhow, it's drives nice. The only thing I don't like is the steering is just completely dead to the void. I mean, you just go like this, and you'd be in the ditch and you wouldn't feel anything. But I think she's pretty sharp. Anyhow, we're here today because I need some marble thresholds. And what I saw online for Home Depot Lowe's sucked. They were marble white, but they were artificial. They had no veining, no character. Or you could have gray, and she wants real looking marble. So I think they have real marble. If not, they have real fake looking marble. My only issue is I need 5 inches by 32. I can cut it shorter, but I can't make it wider. And I don't want to cut down a 6 to a 5, which is probably what I'll end up doing. But since it's got to have a bevel, I got to cut it and then bevel it. So yay. So this is supposed to be really, really good stuff for cleaning the grout. So you can see right here, it's white, not so white. So we're gonna give this a go, see what happens. Okay, well, I think it
didn't do a perfect job, but like there's a transition. So touched, not touched. So it's definitely a lighter color. Black, like there's white to black. So tomorrow we'll do the other part. Yeah, I think it looks better. Well, today while I was out looking for marble, I accidentally bought some things at two estate sales. Took the kids to Olivia and Talia, the big ones. So these are going to replace those two. One of these has been shortened because the plastic broke. Shortened. And this one is fine, except it needs to be cleaned. These are going to be washed, but I'm going to see how this tray works. So basically, you pop that little insert out, and then it threads on top of this 1/2-inch pipe, which is on there. I'm going to leave that one over there. I like that one because she's big. She's easy to fill, and then we'll go ahead and fill these up. So I may just deploy more of these elsewhere, but for now, we'll go ahead and wash those up. What else did I get? I didn't buy much. Really bad CD selections. Got the mortar for the threshold, some sandpaper, 220, and a little special punch that's kind of cool. It's a very thin punch. And got a yardstick, because I didn't get a yardstick, but this one's got a lot of history to it. And she's the Union Wallpaper Company downtown, back when you could go downtown. Just really cool. And she's got numbers, and she even has a metal blade, so you get a nice sharp edge on that. So not sure where we'll put that, but for now we'll put that there, and we'll go ahead and clean those up and deploy those. Why does it never stop? So the time has come to get this outside. It's really in the way, and just got to do it. So this will be interesting. I had help getting it down here. I think I drained most of it, and I think some of it's dried out because it was soggy. Like I'd tip it over and it would drain. So we'll see if more drains out when I tip it over now. So got it to here. She weighs more than I thought. This is gonna be a struggle. It's gonna be a struggle just getting it up. I think I'm gonna have to put that wheel on top of that step and then arc the other side over. So yeah, this will be fun. Tell me how it comes out. Looking forward to knowing the ending. Guess it did leak a little bit. I'll have to come clean that up. But it didn't leak over there. Maybe down there. I didn't see any leakage. So lifting that up isn't gonna work with one person, but I'm gonna just move all the dog food, and then I can swing her around and take her right up the stairs. You know, just like that. So it looks like I gotta swing that around, so just enough clearance, and then, you know, it turns out the leakages was from there. So I tightened that up. That was leaking. So I have a few minutes to kill, so I thought I'd play with this. So I took the screws out, and as I suspected, the top is actually foamed in. So basically, after they, oops, this is like this. These little holes on the top, right here and here, these plugs, that's where they spray the foam in, the expansion foam. And looks like it's snowing out here. I'm gonna scrap all this. Yeah, so it's all spray foam insulation. So that's why when it leaks, it's really hard to figure out where the leak is coming from. Now, this is all wettish. You can kind of tell by the way it is. I think we'll just file that over here. And it's never gonna come back here again, box. Now, I debated this. You see how this has pipe dope over this? This is just a nipple. So this is like a 2-inch piece of pipe that's just screwed in there. This is the side that's leaking, and you can tell because, well, the way it looks versus this is still white and this isn't. It's quite possible that this is what failed, this little tiny short nipple, but it's really hard to get this off, and it's 11 years old. So even if that was it, we're going to find out later that there's lots of other issues in here. I want to get that out of there. This is the anode. This is the part I'm really looking forward to, because that's the part that's consumed. So as the water gets hot, it actually eats the metal that this is made out of. And then when this is shot, it starts eating the rest of the metal. So chemistry wise, this is a math, this is chemistry, so we can do this without a calculator. This is going to get eaten first to satisfy the chemical bonds and things, the magic that's happening. So when this is gone, it eats everything else. So you're supposed to replace this every 3 to 4 years. Now, part of the problem is this goes, so most people have, don't have 6 feet above. So what you do is you remove this, and they sell ones that have like a chain link. So they're like 8-inch pieces, and it kind of goes together. I'm trying to think of the analogy, but like a mobile with lots of joints in there. So then it just hangs down there because it's just, gravity works pretty well around here. So yeah. So the next thing I'm going to do is grab my pipe wrench and see if I can, I'm going to grab a regular socket. I think it's 1 inch and something. And then, but I want to take these out. But it's also snowing. I'm going to save on this because I can. And that because I can. And the rest I'm pretty much going to scrap. If this was a gas water heater, you would have an anode, an input, an output, input, output. But what it wouldn't have is this in the middle. You would have another heating element, which would go in here, maybe goes on the side. Those make great tanks because you can build things out of them. This one has a hole right through the middle. So it's like a big long donut because the heat is down there and then the vent comes through. So it's less useful. So I'm going to do some Googling, but I don't know what I can use that tank for, given it has a freaking hole in the middle. So yeah, but it weighs 80 pounds and there's a lot of steel in there. So we're going to take it apart, see what failed, and, have fun with it. It's a GE, so it's just good enough to last the warranty, which was 6 years. So I should be happy that it lasted 11.5 years. Then we'll go take it to scrapyard. It won't be copper based, but we'll get maybe $6 and probably a flat tire. Okay, so I got the top off a couple days ago. Got the nipples out. Got all the electronics out. That's where the burner goes in. These are the nipples, and a couple interesting things. This was on the side that was leaking, and you can see rust around there. I don't see rust down on the threads. I don't see any indications that it was just too loose. And the goop seems to be all the way around. So I don't think this was leaking. I think it was the weld underneath. But also, I think this is stainless steel, so it's not going to rust. I also think it's stainless steel because it looks like it was broken here. Those threads, so you got threads there, and then enhance, and then you don't have threads, or if you do, they're very messed up. I think this is a liner for dielectric or something. I'm not sure what that liner's for. Oh yeah, that helps. So anyhow, I don't think it was just a matter of tightening up the nipple, which I did try to do. You got to take the top off to get to those because you just can't get the pipe wrench in there. We used the pipe wrench and a 3-foot pipe. With that, it's a pipe wrench. Get it? Yeah, you need a pipe. So this is the drain valve. She's plastic, so we'll just keep on that. This is the burner. So a couple things are going on here. This plate goes on the outside. That's your inspection window to see if you got light. This is the main gas, which comes from the control unit. This is the igniter. So she shoots electricity over here. And then this is the sensor that the igniter is working. And I guess a little bit of gas comes through here too, maybe? No, just, no. This is the igniter on this one. She's got high voltages. And then this is the sensor that, do I have gas going on? And it might require gas going through there. It's a little bent up. So main gas, pre-lighter gas, and then this is where the flames come out and then heats the bottom of the tank and then the exhaust gas heat up there. This is the thermal expansion, and you can see already a telltale that it's going to be messy inside, but that happens. So if the pressure gets above a certain pressurization, probably 5,000 BTUs, extra 210, relief valves maximum. I don't know. At some point, either heat or pressure, probably pressure, opens this up. This goes inside the tank, so this is how hot is my water sensor, and then that plugs into the back of this, which has the do I have a flame, make a flame, spark a flame. Spark is on the front, then that's the gas inlet. So she does a lot of things. These are standardized, and apparently if you press on those little tabs and slide it off, you won't break it, but it's just the plastic. I'll just keep this just in case I have failure. This is a fun one. This is is there flammable gas going on? And I guess I'm going to assume it has high voltage, and then if something sparks or and ignites, it then shorts it and goes, hey, wait a second. Who put that can of gasoline evaporating next to the water heater? These apparently are very expensive, and I'm keeping all these just as backups in case my new one fails. But right now what we're gonna do is we got the Monster out. We got an 1 and a 1/16 socket someplace. There was a socket. Oh, there it is. We're gonna take the sacrificial rod out and take a peek at it. So this should be fun. I'm not messing around. I'm not using a pipe wrench, not using a long bar. I'm just using that beast. Okay, that actually came out pretty quickly. I've taken longer time to take lug nuts off that. She came right out. You can see, considering she's supposed to be like big enough to fit inside that area, right? Enhance? Nope. So, yeah, I cleaned this up and you could definitely tell. Enhance. Somebody was not paying attention that day in the assembly line and just kind of jammed it in there. Looks like it broke. There's probably parts inside the tank. Maybe I've been drinking it. Again, I think that's the stainless steel cleaned up pretty nicely. This is, of course, what it's supposed to look like. It's just straight threads, like it should. So, yeah. I think they do this lining to keep the electricals out. I don't know, because it's supposed to be grounded. Maybe somebody could tell me. Probably not going to reuse this for drinking water, but maybe gas line. Never know. Sometimes you need these things. So this is kind of neat. I need to separate this, and I thought I could just, like a round ductwork, these snap together, but this one looks like it's not snapped together. It's put together then crimped, so we'll just have to take the wire wheel. But yeah, flipping around, I don't quite know what this is for. It's spring loaded and it's got a rod in there. The other amusing thing is that the foam actually, it didn't need to be that zoomed out, sits in a bag so that it doesn't, block the airage here because it needs air burners. There's the inside. Hands out. Doesn't look too bad. So this is, of course, the heat comes here, then they dome it to increase the surface area and make sure the glasses go up here. And it's got this metal piece that kind of tries to capture some of the heat coming out of the exhaust gas. The exhaust gas exits via, okay, so this piece only goes this far and hence. So when I wiggle this, that does, it's kind of weird. It's way up there. Huh. Looks important. Some sort of, I don't know what the hell that is. It's definitely seems to be attached to that. Well, I'm about to pop that. Some sort of thermal thing, like to raise and lower the. I don't know. I think it's to raise and lower the burner. Actually, it's kind of neat. New. There's your. That's upside down. For those of you read upside down, that says flammable vapor sensor do not block. There's that piece. Apparently they're so expensive because the guy I bought the new one from, he hid them from people. Because apparently he said that people come in, and while he's in the warehouse checking on stock or something, they would steal them. So he actually removes them and then puts them in after he sells the unit. Most of his work he does installing, so it's still waterlogged, but okay, well, we'll go ahead and wire wheel and get the outer carcass out. Clearly steel, very recyclable. So it's all the way cut, and kind of like a unibody frame, the frame's holding it together. It's like the steel doesn't have to be that thick. Because by the time you add the foam, it's pretty strong without it. So it just has to do a vertical load. So we'll unwrap this potato. I gotta move all these because she needs to get her car out. But yeah, neat. This might be a short on the YouTube. Unrolling a water heater. Whoops, got digitals holding us up. Well, there you go. Maybe make it into a sled. Wire's definitely held up, and then that plastic piece and hands kind of got in the way, but that's kind of neat. So you definitely tell where they put the foliage, and then they only put the they put the insulation everywhere. So theoretically, I should be able to cut the foam and just unwrap it, kind of like I did this. Doubt it. These are the wires that go up to the fan. Just keep these, you know, never know if you need those. Of course, I can run that on the outside. It doesn't have to go on the inside. Quite a pile of parts there. That was kind of fun. Until I smashed my toe, then it wasn't, but yeah. Well, the part that was like wrapped in a bag, I was able to literally unwrap. I just grabbed a hole that cut it around and just pulled it off. And this is the old insulation that they wrapped around the bottom. You can tell definitely that did this in modular pieces. So this is obviously the burner part. But not sure how to get that off. I think I'm just gonna have to scrape it off. I think I could do it in chunks like that. Just roll it. Not sure. It's definitely so there's some steel in there, covered in 2 inches of insulation. Definitely a GE foam insulation. Okay, well I ponder how to get the foam out. Back to the wheel saga. So these wheels go on the recycle bin, which got hit by the snow truck, and I came out and found the wheels, the axle sitting on top of it. I thought I could just call and say, hey, I need a new wheel set, because these actually just kind of pop on. There's a little button you press here and they just slide on and off. There's a little groove in here that rides in. No. They told me that they could just send it with the driver. Like he could literally just toss it out the window into my grass. My choices were to buy a brand new one. No, not going to do that. Or wait 3 to 4 weeks. I'd have to leave it outside empty, and they couldn't tell me when they're coming for them to take a look at it, repair or replace it. So I looked on the interwebs, and it's like $40 for a new set of wheels, and I'd have to do measurements and math to make sure things work. Meanwhile, I thought I could just, just kind of weld a piece on there. But there's these spacers here. This wheel's there. Now, this piece I just found. So the last 2 weeks, I have not located this. I found this in my neighbor's yard, about 30 feet from the property line. It really hit far. So this will slide into there. What this does is pits the wheel from hitting the cart. So if I didn't have this, the wheel would be constantly hitting the cart. So now that I have this, and it's not going to go anywhere because it's stuck here, and I have the original one on this one, all I'm going to do is take this nut and just basically jam it into there with an impact device. Yeah. So it doesn't fit. It just barely kind of goes on there. These threads will kind of smush, and it'll be magical. And then I won't pay $30 fucking for this or wait without a recycle bin. We actually tend to recycle more volume than we do trash. Since I put the food on the other side of that wall 25 feet, or in the worm thing just outside that wall. Yeah. And then I do silly things like I break down every box. This is a man thing, and I put them in there every once in a while. I keep the boxes because I realized about a year ago it's really easy just to, if you need a box, just tape it back together. I've been doing a lot of eBay selling, so that's been really handy. And then this is what you want to do with your classic cars, just basically in a flat storage area. Christmas wreath, everything you need. So that actually almost worked perfectly. So wheel doesn't hit, it turns. That's what that spacer's for. And the wheel over here turns. But I think I want to pound this back out, or take this off and put a washer there. That's eventually going to wear out. Then we'll be good to go. It doesn't look straight edge, but I got the pipe wrench in there, and I'm just going to get a big wrench and rinse it off, find a washer, and bang it back on there. Or carefully thread it on with that sledgehammer. Well, while it's still relatively warm, went ahead and cut I did 2 of these, piece to 31 and 32. I did 32 because I wasn't sure if starting this cut was going to cause a problem. So this one I didn't really have a problem with, other than that the pieces broke off. So this was a 6-inch piece. This is the other end. I got these on sale really cheap because they were broken. So we'll keep that for no reason at all. So anyhow, using it, I used the diamond wheel. Just created a lot of dust. I couldn't even deal with trying to put water on there. I did a 16th and then came through. Got a little wonky here. So, let's see. Enhance. But that'll come right out. So what I mean by right out is I got this 40 grit wheel that's designed for grinding stone. So we're just gonna put a slight bevel on this, clean this up a little bit, and put her in. Well, not put her in, put her inside the house, let it warm up. The other one I got to cut to 31. They're different widths, 4.5, 4 and 9/7/8. For the long cut, I use this, and I use this Craig thing, which worked pretty well. So basically the saw clamps down here, and this rides along the wood. Of course, everything's off because you're up high and the gauges, so you got to manually set the height and everything, but it worked out pretty well. My biggest problem was, frankly, is the marble kept moving. I didn't want to clamp the marble. I probably should have just put a piece of wood on the end, clamped, and a piece of wood, kind of like a corner, but it'll grind out. So I did a little bit more than 4.5 so that I could, just kind of ease her on in there. If I didn't mention, this is between the bathroom and the kitchen floor that I'm going to be doing. So I realized last week that I need to put these in before I put the floor in. So she's sexy.